Professional Women's Bowling Association presents the Greater Orlando Classic. We are at AMF Altamont Lanes. We're in Altamont Springs, Florida, which is about 20 miles by car from the Orlando airport. Hello, everyone. I'm Leandra Riley, and it's sort of bowling by numbers, a countdown, if you will. This is our 5th event in 1998, and of course, we have 5 women in the Stepladder finals. 4 of these women have been on TV already in 1998. 3 of them are left-handed. 2 of them have already won. In fact, both of those ladies who have won in 1998 have bowled 300 games right here at Altamont Lanes. And now we're down to number 1. And there is only one number 1, and that's our Jan Schmidt. And Jan, I'm going to jump right into it. Why do we have 3 lefties already in this tournament?
Oh, thanks for that tough question. But I mentioned last week lane conditions always an issue. Last week no left-handers on the show. This week the conditions definitely favored the left side. They were a drier pattern, and hey, there's only 4 lefties bowling out here on tour this year. It's just really a numbers situation. What this means is in the first day of qualifying there'd be 46 to 48 games on each pair of lanes on the right side. Only 1 to 3 games on the left side. The left side's going to hold up a lot better on a drier pattern, and with the talented left-handers we have out here, they're not going to let this chance slip by.
And they certainly are a talented bunch. Let's round out our Stepladder finals. We open with a couple of Carols. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard will be bowling against Carol Gianotti-Block, and those 2 ladies will advance, one of them will, to our first southpaw, and that's Dede Davidson. Then it's the next southpaw, Tsch Johnson, as our runner-up, and the number 1 lady tonight, she's been number 1 all week, Donna Miller-Mackie. In fact, Donna Miller-Mackie made this necklace. That's what she does in her spare time that I'm wearing this evening. In fact, she's standing by right now with our Jan Schmidt.
Thanks, Leandra. Dana, this is the best start to a season you've had in your entire career, and yet it comes at a time when you're struggling over wanting to be with your family and wanting to be out here on tour. Are you kind of getting a sign here?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm more relaxed about it, not trying to press it so much, and being able to enjoy both. Enjoy my marriage and being home, and we moved near to my family in Albuquerque, and I enjoy my bowling and appreciate it a lot more. I think I always appreciated it, but I'm at a point probably I know it's not going to go on forever, so I appreciate every moment I'm out here.
Well, speaking of moments, 2 weeks ago you shot 279 in the championship match. Now you've been out on the lanes warming up. Any predictions for a 300 and that $50,000 MasterCard bonus tonight?
Well, I think the shot is very good for everybody, so that's very much a possibility, and hopefully we'll all get it. They wouldn't be real excited, but we would.
Good luck tonight, Dana.
Thanks.
I'm with Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, the number 5 qualifier. Carolyn, you hardly look old enough to remember this, but you went back over a decade and threw plastic this week. Why?
Why was because the lanes were extremely dry, very, very dry. I can't even emphasize that enough. So the only thing I could keep on the right side was a little Maxim there, plastic, and it worked. I'll tell you, it made me feel pretty good because I had to make some pretty good shots there to make the ball hit. It kind of made me a little nervous. But, you know, it worked, and here I am, and we'll see what happens.
Well, you've been out there warming up. What are you going to do tonight? Can we look for plastic?
Well, unfortunately, there's a little more oil on the lanes, so I think I'm going to have to use the up-to-date resin equipment tonight.
Good luck, Carolyn. We're ready to start. Back to you, Leandra.
All right, as you said, it is Carol Gianotti-Block against Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. Our television pair this evening are lanes 11 and 12. And you are looking now at our first bowler. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard goes right for the microphone, steps up to the lane. 33 years old, 8 years as a pro. She now lives in Texas. Originally from New Jersey. Her sister bowls professionally on the tour.
A little bit light, as she mentioned. The lanes are tighter tonight, quite a bit tighter, both sides, left and right. Both told me a lot more conditioner on the lanes. They do this for television because the lanes break down quickly on TV under the TV lights. 221 average, and a good portion of that was with that plastic ball. Well, the last 22 games of match play, the plastic ball shot more than 200 over every block.
Carol Gianotti-Block has been 11 years on the pro. Not only is she from Australia, but she's from Western Australia, which makes it even trickier to understand her accent. But not tricky to understand what she just did on that lane number 12. All smiles. It's a nice way to open a match.
Carol played a different line than a lot of the players, although as per usual lately, they were all over the lane. But Carol played a little bit deeper line, more inside, and opened up. Or in other words, threw the ball right through the heads of the front part of the lane.
Looks like lane 11 might be the trouble lane. What went wrong here?
Well, she's playing pretty tight line, not looping it as much right as she was, but she's setting it down about 25, going right. Only got to about 15 maybe, not quite right enough. She had to really force the ball right, even though there's more condition in the lanes, are still really tight.
Tried to kick the right side, didn't, got nothing, ends with an 8.
It was a great try. Look at what Carolyn's using tonight. It's not a plastic ball. It is the new reactive resin equipment. Not one of the strongest ones, but she's definitely going for a little bit more hook or back end.
Nicely. It's a second strike we've seen on lane 12.
Now here's the different line. Carolyn playing much farther right with her feet sliding at about 15. The ball down about 10, a little right of that, going out to the gutter, coming back.
Yeah, nice reaction. Yes.
And in watching her play, Leandra, using that plastic equipment, she had to be so aggressive, as she mentioned just before. She had to hit every shot just exactly the same and really turn the ball. And she looks really good tonight. I think it maybe helped her bowling a little bit.
Come on, ball. Yeah! Come on, ball, and it did.
Oh, double.
She's got a double.
Carol is not playing lanes really as she did earlier. As I said, she was pushing the ball a lot farther right in the heads or the front, 17 feet of lane, 15 feet of lane, getting it right farther. Tonight, more conditioner, so she's having to play a tighter line. She trails by 24, could cut that to 14 if she strikes here.
Once again, she struggles on lane 11.
Compensation for the split. Going on the nose, giving it room, now light with another split, and you saw her reaction. She was surprised by that. She thought she made a good shot. Lanes may be a little touchy for her. They weren't good for her yesterday morning, and then they kind of came to her later at night.
She gets one of them, but she has 2 open frames, and now she trails Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. We'll be back with the Greater Orlando Classic in just a moment. Greater Orlando Classic is being brought to you by MasterCard. There are some things in life money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
While we were away, we both threw a few frames. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard led by 38 pins going into that break. She now leads by just 26. She spared and threw 3 strikes, but Carol Gianotti-Block 4 in a row after those 2 open frames.
I'd say she'd settle down. A 4-bagger and a turkey going for the ladies tonight is our opening match. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard steps up on lane 12.
It's a good shot. 10-pin, and ball just didn't drive quite hard enough. She's been hitting half pocket and carrying it. She's been hitting high flush and carrying. That one was just a little in between. To shoot at that 10-pin. No problem. Carolyn has a 5-step approach. She starts with her knee slightly bent. Let's watch her arm swing and her back swing. She had it lower last week because of the oil on the lanes. This week, a drier condition. She's trying to get it up. It's about shoulder high there. Good extension. Watch out on the lane. Gets the ball well out on the lane. Last week, she was trying to get it down into the lane. So she makes a lot of changes. She's very versatile. And that's how she can make 2 shows in a row on 2 totally different lane conditions.
Looks like her velocity has slowed a little bit, but not enough to affect her performance here. So she's got a 187 in the 8th frame, 25-pin lead over this lady who's working on a 4-bagger. Already these two have met in match play, and you can see what happened. Carol Gianotti prevailed.
With a big lane, 280.
That's 5.
Well, she can strike out for 232. We're going to watch that shot. 5-step approach. Watch her push the ball up and out. She needs to go right through the heads. Her arm swing goes behind her and comes out. Good cup at the release. She cups that wrist up. She gets a lot of rotation on the ball. That's why she plays from inside out. Likes to really, we call it loop the heads or throw the ball right in the front court.
She has narrowed this gap to 5 pins. And she's all smiles.
Well, if she strikes out here, she'll force Carolyn Dorin-Ballard to throw the first 2 strikes in the 10th.
Carolyn knows that.
She'll just need 1 strike. 1 strike, excuse me. She's on a strike in the 9th, so she'll need 1 strike. After that early trouble that Carol Gianotti-Block had on lane 11, she sure made the adjustment and the proper adjustment.
She had 2 open frames back in the 2nd and 4th, a couple of splits that she was unable to convert. She punches out at 232.
This was the last shot. She's in very deep now, but sending the ball way right down the lane. Coming back half pocket. So she's playing to a break point farther down the lane than she was when we watched her earlier in the week. So Carolyn will now need a strike and 8. That meaning she wouldn't need any more pins after the 8 count.
Come on! Got it.
Great shot. Now an 8 count here would assure her not to have to make another shot. If she gets less than 8, she still could win the match, but she'd have to pick up some or all of the pins.
Of course, the tricky part here is she moves over to lane 11, which has been the more difficult of the 2 lanes. No correction, I'm sorry, she's on lane 12, which is the better of the 2 lanes for her.
10th frame, so she remains on the lane.
She stays put. But she knew that. She handled that one beautifully.
And that's all it took. Great pressure shots. Finally won a match.
Last week she finished 5th in Sebring. And this week she's at least 4th.
Yes. Right ball this week. Right ball.
So she punches out at 247.
As Carolyn's first ball in the 10th needed this strike to win the match.
All right, let's hear what she had to say.
Come on!
Oh, I think she shotted that one down. The decibel meter on that was fantastic. So, Carolyn Dorin-Ballard moves on, and now comes the lefty challenge. 3 in a row. We'll be back. We are back at the Greater Orlando Classic at AMF Altamont Lanes. I'm Leandra Riley along with Jan Schmidt, and we are ready for our second match between Carolyn Dorin-Ballard and Dede Davidson. Carolyn is going to bowl first. She won her first match, and that was against Carol Gianotti-Block, 247 to 232. And now she's ready to take on the first of 3 left-handers.
Carolyn threw that strike in the 10th to win that last match. Had to boost her confidence for the rest of the night.
Come on. Great.
A little high English pulled that over, and she opens with a strike.
And she said, great shot. Let's go.
Dede Davidson's enjoying her 14th year as a pro. In 1997, she cashed in 14 of 18 events. She closed it up on lane 3.
have not been happy with how she's been bowling this year. Took a little time off over the holidays to be with family, but this week, averaging 224, kind of getting things together. Did a little bit of work with Doan Mose from EMF. He helped her out and worked with her on not wrapping her swing behind her back so much, and she thinks that that helped her quite a bit. It was hurting her shoulder, and she wasn't getting to the line consistently with that arm swing.
She also wants to thank Dan and Wanda Do It, their sponsors. She said, Donna might be lost. She's not lost now. Opens with 2.
Carolyn wants to say hi to Mom, Marianne, and Big G. That's her dad.
And everyone at Jersey Lanes and Fort Worth. She's got a New Jersey, Texas connection here. There you see the high and low of Carolyn.
Come on. Come on. Yes.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So both ladies opening with lots of strikes. And the Greater Orlando Classic is being brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. It's been sort of an up and down year, even though this is back-to-back TV appearances for her. She went 20th in Lubbock, 6th in Huntsville, 15th in Jacksonville, 5th last week in Sebring, Florida. And now here she's at least 4th.
Come on.
Well,
Come
Carolyn
on.
always
Yes.
making the cut. Made all of the cuts last year for all 20 events. And this year, the same thing. However, she's not happy with 20th or 15th. She should feel she should be near the show every week.
Talk about spiking. At Lubbock, Dede Davidson was 7th, then 47th in Huntsville, 6th in Jacksonville, and then 62nd in Sebring. So she's kind of all over the map, up and down, up and down. That's 3 for Dede Davidson. We haven't seen anything but a strike in this match.
Dede's holding the ball about chest high away from her. 4-step approach, loose arm swing, nice follow through. And here's from behind. What we're watching for is she's going to wrap it behind her. Watch her arm swing. A little bit behind her, not bad. See where her left hip is. Not much at all. Before she was wrapping it almost around midway behind the back. It was causing a lot of problems trying to get the ball through.
Four-bagger, Dede Davidson.
We're going to see some strikes tonight. A little bit
boy.
more hold, just enough that both sides should be able to strike.
8th-year pro, 3 national titles. She made 10 television appearances last year, 6 in a row. Already 98, 2 in a row. Consistency, that
Lay
name
off.
is
Lay off. 3-4.
Ballard.
Roll it. Roll it.
And there's Ballard.
I thought that pin would knock it over. It came across. You heard her yell lay off. She knew that was going to jump a little bit high. Was hoping the ball would set. PBA Hall of Famer.
Uh-oh. When the rack came down, the pin fell.
So the pin will have to be respotted.
This is Ballard Jr. on the PBA. He's saying stay and then get off. Trying to read his lips here, and oh, he knew it.
He's trying to push that pin over there
Yes.
to knock it down, knock the 4-pin down.
So now we wait for the pin to be reset. And this has to take you a little bit out of your rhythm.
A little bit, but you know, it's something that it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's a frequent thing. Anytime you have anything mechanical, you're going to have a little bit of problem. So pins will get moved a little bit in the shot, and it won't quite pick them up.
So I think if the rack knocks it over, they ought to give it to you. All right. She knocked it down herself. We will be back with a continuation of this match, so don't go away. Things will continue here in Orlando in just a moment. The Greater Orlando Classic is being brought to you by Visionary Bowling Products, makers of the high-performance Warlock, Sorcerer, and Amulet. Visit your local pro shop and get custom fitted for a Visionary ball today.
When we left, you saw Carolyn Dorin-Ballard trailing by 11. She continued to strike in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Matches now all even. Dede Davidson leaving a 7-pin in the 6th and a 2-4-7, but sparing it up in the 8th frame.
Lots of TV appearances, but she's well below 500, 12 and 21.
Come on, hook a lot. Hit one, hit one. Oh, God, Carolyn. Come on.
She was calling for it to hook a lot. Knew it was not a good shot off her hand. Hook a lot, so the ball's still going right. Sent that right just a little bit. Now it's going to hit half pocket. Fortunate to break out the 4 and 7. Head pin off the wall, coming back right here. Knocked them both out. Now just had the 5 pin to shoot.
Dell gives her a nod of reassurance there as she now trails by 1. This is so close. This is so close.
Both players, obviously, with a decent shot to the pocket. They both have to execute. And they both have been executing.
Last TV victory was 1997 in Pittsburgh. She'd like to add Ultimate to that the Classic, as would Dede Davidson. She was a 1985 Rookie of the Year. She averaged 233 on this one.
Dede's a member of Contour Power Grips and Continental Amateur Bowlers Inc. They do tournaments for amateur bowling to help promote it and help people have a place to bowl to become better so they can eventually be out on the Pro Tour with us.
Davidson still up by 1.
Well, she can shut out Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. She leads by 1. They both have strikes up in the 9th. If Dede strikes out all 3, she will close out Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. Was a good shot. She had been high on that lane last time. That ball driving a little bit hard. 6 pin not going. Watch it coming in pretty high in the head pin. Head pin's off the wall.
Right around.
Yeah, head pin took out the 10 pin actually, leaving the 6 standing. The ball just drove too hard. Pin count's going to be very important here. If she would get 9, it would be a 238. Carolyn could go spare strike to tie. So a strike here is going to force Carolyn to strike.
Does the best she can do off that spare, and now the pressure's on Carolyn Dorin-Ballard.
Just like last match, needs the first strike in the 10th. She did a great shot last match. Let's see if she can do it again.
You always want to, but it's so tough when you have to.
Shot off the hand.
Come on, baby! Yes!
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 Oh. Looked like he was bowling there.
Dell gave it the 1-2 punch there.
Look at their eyes met. Dale lost another hair off the top of his head now.
And that's plenty.
Dede's looking up. She finishes 4th. But that ain't too shabby.
No, Dede had a good week, made a few changes, and they really helped her.
But I'll tell you, nothing meant anything like that first start that she needed. The tension in this room.
Great ball, Miss Lee. Great ball.
This is the winning shot. Watch how crisp this is. It's off her hand, very clean, nice rotation. You know it's going to drive. There's Dell.
Look at that. Whoa, yes. Yes. Steak tonight. Oh, Carolyn Dorin-Ballard knocks off the first of 3 left-handies. Who's up next? None other than Tsch Johnson. We'll be back. The Professional Women's Bowling Association's tour winds to a close here in Florida, our 3rd and final stop as we have moved from Jacksonville to Sebring to this, the Greater Orlando Classic. We are ready now for our match between Carolyn Dorin-Ballard and Tsch Johnson. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, for the 3rd time, will start the match. It's been a successful formula so far. She defeated Dede Davidson in the last match, 257 to 239.
She's saying, yeah, it looked like the ball was going to drive. It really looked like a good shot, but right here, just a little half pocket. See how the 5-pin goes across in front of the 8. Something came from the back and tapped the 8-pin down. Almost took out the 10. She's happy with that right now.
I don't blame her. She dodged a bullet. Tsch Johnson from Northridge, California, 18th year as a pro. 2-time Bowler of the Year, 1992 and 95. She's already won this year. She won at Lubbock, Texas, first event of the year.
She's mic'd also, and she said, you know, hey, just make good shots. You can hear her talking to herself.
She's spiked up and down, went from 1st at Lubbock, 37th in Huntsville, 4th in Jacksonville, 43rd in Sebring.
It was interesting how the players have been going up and down with the changes of lane conditions. Ooh, almost an 8-10 for her, but on her side, an 8-10 would mean the ball drove too hard. Solid 8-pin. Watch how high the ball drives in, pushes past the 8-pin. Bad break. It was a really good shot.
Nice conversion. You mentioned a couple of times now that the ball driving too hard. I think that's the toughest thing for a beginning bowler to deal with, is too hard. You can see the average numbers on the TV pair was 211, but tonight it's 252. So
It's for Carolyn, right? And you were saying, I'm sorry.
But about driving the ball too hard, and I think a beginner is always trying so hard to throw this hard and as hard and as hard as you can. But there actually is that time when you throw it too hard.
Yeah, and actually, the ball driving through the pins means it's just gripping the lane, and the reactive resin does that, and it goes through the pins at a different angle than what we used to see. And that creates a different type of domino effect than what you're supposed to see, the way the 10 pins are set up. And that's why a lot of the players, now they're going down in weight, they're going to 15-pound, a few players throwing 14-pound equipment, because you want a little more deflection off of those pins. So you don't leave the kind of things like you just saw Tish leave.
Hit! Skid! Ooh, bad,
Again.
bad.
Bad, she said. First yelled hit, then said skid. Ball was way out on the lane. A little bit of a bounce to that. Might have hit a little bad part on the lane. Ball drove too hard.
Too high.
Yeah.
And she's like a 10 got spun out of there.
escaped 2 splits now in that left lane. She'll feel fortunate and just try to get back on track on that lane. Tish defeated Carolyn in match play, 279-237.
But again, lane 12. This is the easier lane for both bowlers.
Tish holding the ball well away from her body, pretty low though, a 4-step approach. Watch the backswing. Head high over the head. She's been getting more speed. Something that Tish, it was not the best part of her game. She's able to project the ball down the lane. If you saw the index finger there, she released it. She's trying to get good push with the index finger. Some things that she saw.
I don't believe that. Oh my goodness. I have never seen something like that. That had to be the slowest pin action in history.
This ball breaking real hard at the end. It's going to go dead on the nose. Let's see if we can tell what happened. Something came shooting across.
The
from
whirling
ball.
dervish came over.
Right, hit the 7.
Oh. And there's a whirling dervish up at the ball.
She was hoping that pin, she just broke up the split and was going to take out the 7. Then it came forward and knocked out the 4.
Come on.
You can see how it swings out and swings back.
All right, come on now.
And she talking to herself, trying to get herself back into the strike mode. It's a good shot, a little bit inside of target, but gets it right. 4-pin stand, and she set it down farther left, projected it right. It came back hard.
All right. It's okay.
Good shot. Reassuring herself. Back-to-back spares for Dorin-Ballard.
She's saying that's okay with the spares. That was her attitude this entire week. Just trying to spare and using the plastic equipment. That's what she tried to do. Knock down 9 pins, shoot the spare. She told us last night, hey, I can pick up a 10-pin or a 5-pin, but I can't pick up the big 4. So that's what she was trying to do. Tonight, a little bit different. The scores seem to be much higher, and she needs to strike.
That's a good shot.
Yes, it is.
Come on
She
now.
knew it the minute she let go that it was a good shot. Tish is working on the double.
She already won 1 title this year in Texas.
She's on the Columbia 300 pro staff.
And she took full advantage of that break she had on lane 11 and turned it into a turkey.
And a 21-pin edge. This is the one who won the Super Monkey in Cincinnati. She jostled 10, but it wouldn't drop.
First woman to win a Megabuck tournament, $100,000.
Did it against guys.
Have to love it. It's her 3rd show this swing. Much better start to the year than she had last year.
This is where Carolyn needs to make her move. She has a strike in the 5th. Tsch Johnson opened the door a little bit for her.
10 300 games for Carolyn. She needs to continue striking here. She trails by 20, but if she'd step up and strike on both of her shots here in the 6th and 7th, it'd be an even match.
Great shot.
Nice shot.
10.
Just didn't quite drive at the last second. It was nice off her hand, though. Good release.
Looks like she's hitting a little high in the pocket, and that's happened a few times. What's going on?
That actually was kind of
Good shot? It just happens?
Yeah, it just happens. Pins sometimes are a little off spot. Ball's driving through a little bit different angle. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. It changes how the pins deflect. So still trailing by 20 now for Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. Well, she said she's going to do what she has to do on the show. Tonight, that decision was to go with the reactive resin equipment. It's a great decision, averaging 252 tonight.
Come on,
Needs to make
come
him
on.
fall now.
Great shot. Come on now, you're making good shots.
Tish blowing out the air, taking a deep breath, blowing out the air. That'll relax you. It's a good heat. If you have a little trouble with nerves.
Whoa, did that hang out there? Oh, my.
Oh, and she's saying thank you on that one. She was honest bear. Ooh. Would have gone in the channel.
Now you gotta live on the
Lost
edge.
10 pins. Watch this. Going left.
Oh, wow.
Send it too far left. Look at ball hanging off. Makes a turn, and right here she's fortunate to break
Look at
out
her
the
eyes.
7 pin.
Look at her eyes. See, if anybody else would have done that, it would have gone in the channel. But she's a pro. They stay in the lane.
Not always.
Come on, Johnson. Jesus.
Well, she's happy to have just had a spare on the She would have left a washout. Fortunate. Yeah. She's real serious today about her bowling. You normally see her joking around with the crowd a bit more. She has a new approach to bowling this year, she said, though. She's working out. She's practicing.
Oh, you finally
working
threw one
hard.
right.
Lost some weight.
And of course.
I don't know if everyone heard her. I was talking at the time. She said, you finally
Something.
threw one right. And of course, you leave a 7 pin. $832,000 in her career.
Pins the difference.
This is a big shot for Carolyn. She needs to get herself back in the match now. Something distracted? That's the right thing to do. It's a key shot. You need to have the composure to step back down and start again.
Come on. Yes, baby.
And I can't tell you how hard that is sometimes because you're up there and you want to go. And you just think, I'm a pro. That's not going to bother me, whatever you saw or whatever happened. But if you're thinking about it, that means you're not thinking about what you should be thinking about for your shot. And that alone is a distraction. You have to step off and start over. She can take the lead if she strikes right here.
Tish, make 4 good shots.
Tish can't shut her out. That was a huge shot. The best Tish can do here would be 236. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard could strike out for 239.
Tish is going to make Carolyn earn every pin.
Every match coming down to the 10th frame. That's what I like to see. From up here, I like to see.
Yes.
It. Down there, no. But although I'd like to see any kind of match from down there right about now. She's talking to herself. Come on.
You're good. Make a good shot.
She's falling off. Both players using the positive talk, make a good shot.
Do you ever sit down and miss to your opponent to yourself?
No.
Make another one. Come on. We'll do it.
No, not really.
Consummate professional.
I suppose somewhere in the back of your mind you're probably thinking, when you think, just give me a chance. Make sure I have a chance.
Wow. Tsch Johnson stepped up big time and puts the pressure
get them
punches
all.
out with the turkey.
This one only out to about 4th board, 5th board, not as wide as before. She is into this one.
Moved in. Close out with the 4-bagger.
She said, I knew I should have moved in. She's moved her feet right on the lane. She's still projecting it left, but she's sending it down a little bit farther right.
Kick it. Oh. 235 for Tsch Johnson. I do not envy Carolyn Dorin-Ballard.
Well, she needs 2 strikes and 7 pins. That says it all right there, and she knows she can do it. She has stepped up and done it in the first match, thrown the first strike, the second match. She knows she has it in her.
I don't know if Dell is not looking or doesn't want to look. He turned his head.
First one!
Looks good.
Yes, baby!
7 is what she needs. X number 1 on the board.
You didn't need the mic, Carolyn.
No. Yeah, they can hear her at Disney World.
She's taking a look. She stepped over and looked at the pins to see if she felt they were on spot. When you're in this situation, you need to feel confident that if you make your best shot, it has every chance to strike.
She has now thrown 4 in a row.
Oh, yes. Come on.
Oh! Now she just needs 7.
It's coming light, but it was driving. It's a ball halfway down, a little left to target. She sent it right again. Coming light. Everything at the 7 pin and knocked it down. She came pretty high flush on that first strike. Almost looking like a solid 7 could have stood. She may have made a little move on that shot.
One more. I'll take it.
Got 7 and then some.
Great ball, great ball.
A 238 for Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, and she moves up the ladder. It's time for the championship match at the Greater Orlando Classic. It is Carolyn Dorin-Ballard against Donna Miller-Mackie. And in a little changing of the luck, Donna Miller-Mackie has opted to go first. Carolyn has been bowling first throughout this entire stepladder finals, but now Donna said, no, I'm going to step up.
And sometimes you just want to change the pace of things. Things have been working for somebody. You say, hey, let's try and change it. That, or she may prefer lane 12. It may be a combination of both, because she'll finish on lane 12.
The light touch, but it's effective. Donna Miller-Mackie opens with a strike.
Just tap that 7 pin out of there. Now, I mentioned earlier about Carolyn and the good year she had last year, making all of the cuts. She was a runner-up to Player of the Year. Pretty high honor, Wendy McPherson-Papanos being the Player of the Year for the 2nd year in a row. Carolyn was excited to have the players vote that honor.
Yeah! We'll take
Look at
that.
that.
Sure we will.
One more shot.
All right, here is how Carolyn Dorin-Ballard has walked through this stepladder with a 247-232 win in her opening match against the only other righty. Then it started the lefty slaughter, 257-239 over Dede Davidson and 238-235 over Tsch Johnson. And now she faces her 3rd and final southpaw, Donna Miller-Mackie.
And she just got a big break, light hit. It was quite a long wait since the last ball she had thrown on the warm-up pairs during the break. She didn't get a good shot of her hand, but she was fortunate, kind of tripped out the bucket.
Roll up.
That's a big
Carry. Great shot.
Yes, baby. Come on.
Great shot. Good shot.
And we put a microphone on Joe, and you could hear what he said. Great shot.
He's taking deep breaths also.
Donna Miller-Mackie, by the way, is married to Steve Mackey, who is a vice president of AMF International.
If you just saw Dana, it looked like she might have been blowing into the thumb hole, or she's probably blowing warm air, like breathing into it to warm it up. It's a little bit chilly. Sometimes you want to do that to get a little better feel in the ball. She lost that ball a little bit, went to the left, and I think that's what it was. Her hands are probably cold. Watch her. She's breaking her wristband back, bending it back to flatten out her wrist so she won't hook the ball as much at the spare. She can do that with that wristband. She can adjust it. Last night she bowled with it actually back even further to cut her hook. But today on her strike shot, she has it cupped up to create a little bit more hook. Nice shot at that spare. Can be a tough one. There you can see her. She's
Readjusting again.
Exactly.
She has a sore wrist, and cupping it, she said, does hurt it a little bit more.
It does, but she's also gone from 3 fingers. She used to put the index finger in the ball. You saw it on her spare ball. It still had the hole. She's now using just the 2 fingers. She gets better hit on the ball, better turn, but it does irritate the wrist a little more. And that looked like speed. It's a little slow on that shot, but she looks surprised, so I think she feels she made a good shot. That's so hard sometimes when you're down there. You aren't quite sure if you made a bad shot or if you need to make a move on the lanes.
What would you do?
I would have to judge off of what I felt. I feel she was a little slow, but she could keep the slower ball speed and kick her feet a little right. And she did that a good part of the week. She had her ball speed up, but she had her feet a little farther right.
You just saw in our graphic that she already won at Jacksonville this season.
Tough spare.
All right, working on 2 strikes. Like to remind everyone that if someone bowls a perfect 300 game on television, MasterCard will pay that bowler a $50,000 bonus. But you have to do it on TV. We've already had 2 300 games here in Altamont Lanes this week.
Playoff.
Yes, baby! Come on now!
Got the turkey.
Thank you, guys.
Yes,
that was a break.
Extended that ball well out on the lane. She wasn't sure what it was going to do, but it held pocket.
In fact, the 2 bowlers that bowled the 300 games were Tsch Johnson and Donna Miller-Mackie. The big exhale from Bill.
He was so nervous last night. It was funny, especially in that position round. He was behind me. He said, can't take it.
Ballard Jr. is a 12-time champion in the PBA.
Roll up.
And his wife is working on title number 4 with
Great
a
shot.
4-bagger. Good
Great
shot,
shot.
he said. Atta girl. Did she say thank you as she sat down? I believe so.
Politeness.
Now, earlier in match play, look at that score, 263 to 212.
Dana has been so strong all week. This is 2 times she's led by over 300 pounds. She's bowling the best she's ever bowled in her career.
Fall. It did.
You knocked that one down, Leander.
All right, let's take a look at the other ladies who made the top 24. Cheryl Daniels bowled at 299. In fact, if you look down the list, Sandra Jo Odom also bowled at 299 this week.
Jeannie Nacarado finishing 10th. It's her first week out this year. She was home ill. Stacy Ryder in 13th. She's cashed in 4 out of the 5 events this year so far.
Alita Sill is the only lefty to cash every week this year. She's also the only lefty who didn't make the TV show this evening.
Laura Moriarty in 20th. She's made 3 out of the 5 finals. She's becoming a consistent casher on tour. Jody Ellis, 19th, the newcomer from South Africa.
And Yvette Smith traveling with her baby now, trying to adjust to motherhood and bowling. Here's now Donna Miller-Mackie. She's made the crossover and clears the deck. Now she has 2 in a row, and she's found her mark.
She just needed to get a few shots in. We've talked about it before, how hard it is to sit and wait for that championship match. You have to watch everybody bowl. She came on the lanes knowing Carolyn's bowling great, and it's tough. Get out there, you've been off the lanes a long time.
Look at this. Number 5 seed.
Lay off! Yes!
Way to lay off.
That's 5.
One more.
If she keeps striking here, I think the
One
whole
more.
house is having steak dinner on MasterCard tonight. What do you think?
Well, I'm hungry.
Well, she can't let up. She knows Dana's been striking all week. Dana's tough on TV. These two ladies have had some tough matches on television.
Well, the interesting thing now is on this pair, the breakdown is virtually even because we've had, our third lefty is out there now. Obviously, Carolyn's been working all the way through.
One more. Hit it. I'll take
It's
it.
all right.
She said, I'll take it. She was happy. Ball didn't drive real hard. She'll take just the 10 pin, get up and make her spare.
So Carolyn Dorin-Ballard gets the spare after 5 in a row. We will continue with the championship match in just a moment.
We're back at the Greater Orlando Classic. This is Carolyn Dorin-Ballard in the 9th frame. She needs to stay clean to win this championship. She knocks out the 10 pin. She's stepping up in the 10th frame. There you see it. She spared in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Dana's come on strong with 3 strikes. But the best Dana can shoot is 234. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard needs a mark and good count.
That's the mark you want.
That's it. That's a double.
That's it. That's
She's
it.
a winner.
You're right.
Oh, look at her. She's counting. She's counting. She just saw it.
I tell you, what a dunce.
That's nice. She's trying to add up the score to see what she needs. She actually needs some pin count here because if she were not to throw another ball, she'd only have 227. She should need 4 pins, I believe.
You're the best. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
All right. Wow. Once again, we see it pinned down to the wire.
I heard Dell say you were the best.
She's gonna cry.
Oh, tears in her
Yeah,
eyes.
she's gonna cry.
Thank you, God.
$5,000, second place for Donna Miller-Mackie.
I know, she can barely get this ball off her hand right now.
Yo, Mom.
And it's at 246. Dana hugs her. Dell hugs her.
Very, very proud of you.
Very proud of you.
I'm proud of you. I told you you're the best.
And we will talk with Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, the winner of the Greater Orlando Classic. But first, these messages. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, she did it the toughest way possible. Came from number 5, climbed the ladder to number 1. She's with Arjan Schmidt.
Carolyn, congratulations. What a performance. You averaged 247 tonight. Great show.
Thanks very much. I had really good ball reaction tonight and finally made some good shots when I needed to. I'm so tired of slugging it off. So finally tonight I did it, but I'd like to thank everybody here at Altamont Lanes, Steve Perry, Mike Parr. You guys were great all week, and I'm truly looking forward to coming back next year.
Well, I know you want this trophy. Steve Perry, AMF Orlando North Cluster Manager.
Congratulations, Carolyn. I'd like to present this trophy for the championship match. We appreciate having you out, and you did a great job.
And it must be a heavy trophy. She's trying to hang on. Mike Parr is coming in. He's the manager here at AMF Altamont Lanes. Mike?
Congratulations, Carolyn. It was a great week for you, and I hope you come back next year. Thank you.
Carolyn, did throwing the plastic ball help you? Because you looked really crisp and clean with your release.
I'll tell you, the plastic ball made me make shots because, boy, I'll tell you, when I didn't throw it good, it could have been very ugly. So I think it did probably make me a little more confident because if I could make that hit, the resin was a little bit easier.
Congratulations. Great performance. Back to you, Leandra.
Makes it look easy. Dell's a happy, happy man tonight. Final score was 246 to 234. I'd like to thank our producer, George Smith, our director, Ken Samuel, and stats, Lisa Wagner and Kathy Doran. We certainly hope that you have enjoyed the Professional Women's Bowling Association Tour. And this has been a production of Strike 10 Entertainment.